Today we're flying drones at Canada's bloodiest battlefield, Old Fort Erie. So we're first going to start by taking up the Mavic. We're going to do some location scouting up in the air, and then we're going to take up the FPV drone and see what type of cool shots we can get with that. Pretty sunny out, so we're going to throw an ND filter on the Mavic here, and then we're going to take it up. Old Fort Erie is located on the edge of Ontario, Canada, just across from Buffalo in the United States. The fort was first constructed between 1764 and 1768. Later in 1803, the fort was reconstructed larger to hold more troops and to serve as a supply depot. The new design also included a stronger defense and looked similar to how it looks today. During the War of 1812, the fort became a significant military post. It was a staging ground for British forces and a target for American forces looking to take over Niagara. One of the most notable events that happened at the Old Fort was a siege of Fort Erie that lasted from August to September 1814. American forces captured the fort and fortified it, leading to a long and bloody siege by the British troops attempting to reclaim the fort. The siege of Fort Erie resulted in over 3,000 casualties, one of the highest tolls of the War of 1812. When the Americans abandoned the fort, they blew most of it up. It was reconstructed by the Niagara Parks Commission in the 1930s, where they aimed to keep the appearance as close to it was during the war. Old Fort Erie is now a National Historic Site, which serves as a major tourist attraction, educating its visitors about its historical importance. So I think we're good with all the Mavic stuff now. I'm going to take it down and then we're going to go up to the Old Fort and take the FPV drone around there. We're just going to do like a little... come through that door there. For this flight, I was pretty locked in on the goggles and I wasn't focused on talking to the camera. There was a lot of parts that had to be perfect in order to do the drone shot successfully and safely. So I'm going to do a voiceover on my thought process while flying here. There was 2 people touring the fort, so I wanted them to enter the building before I attempted the shot. I just stayed high and went through and practiced my line until they entered the fort and it was safe to do the shot. We got some people down here, so I want to watch out for those people. The guests then entered the building and it was time to attempt it. Every time I go through gaps, I get nervous, but this time I had a person standing beside the gap, which made it even more difficult to build up the confidence to get the shot. I was pretty stoked the shot turned out the way I was planning for it to, but now I saw another person walking in my line. I'm gonna try that again. There's people walking in front of my doorway there, so I gotta wait. Waiting. It turns out it was another employee, and she ended up standing on the other side of the wall as well. Okay, they're on each side now, so it looks like we're good to do that one more time. Now the nerves have doubled since there's 2 people, but I really wanted to try the shot again, so I did another practice run over top, relaxed, and went for the shot again. When turning around the soldier, I was low on the throttle and ended up giving it too much throttle, ruining the shot. Okay, I think we're good with this pack here. I might just do some like long lines over top of this fort, but flying around these people is not something I want to do right now. I then took my luck with the shots I've already had and adventured around the fort. It was super cool seeing the Old Fort from every angle with the FPV drone. Seeing it from the ground is one thing, but being able to fly around it in every direction was definitely special. I continued doing a few laps around the fort, checking out some cool artifacts like those cannons before preparing for a landing. I was also a little bit worried that the signal for my controller and the drone would be an issue when flying behind the stone fort, but I had no issues with that at all. Yeah, I'm getting no signal breakup on anything flying past all of this concrete and stuff. When bringing the drone back, I decided I wanted to try the shot from the other way, so I did a practice run and set up the shot again. Yeah, so we're gonna fly past that guy and then come through the door too. That's the plan now. I'm gonna do this way. I'm gonna take it nice and slow. I wish I got another run going the first way I did, but I wasn't feeling it in the moment, so I landed the drone, packed everything up, and found a new spot to fly from. Sweet. Perfect. These here are the siege lines, so this is where all the battling took place. I then flew around the siege lines and explored the terrain on the other side of the fort. It's crazy to think that this was once an actual war zone and there was over 3,000 casualties during the siege battle. Niagara Parks puts on an annual siege event where hundreds of volunteers from Canada and the US come to reenact the infamous battle. They dress in historically correct clothing, sleep in old tents, and some even eat and cook the same way they did in the 1800s. So that was such a cool experience today flying on the Old Fort. I love going on new adventures, especially bringing the FPV drone around now. So if you're into that, make sure you subscribe. I have a couple more things planned for the summer, so you're not going to want to miss that. Also, follow my TikTok and my Instagram. I'll pop them up right here. I post all the time on there too. But yeah, that was it for today. I'm going to throw up the rest of the footage if you want to take a look at that, and I'll catch you in the next one.